Hey, I just wanted to jump on here on today, this beautiful Sunday afternoon. I was just thinking about and reflecting about this past week and some of the events and some of the news headlines that has been occupying most of the media um, broadcasts. But anyway, hey, well, first of all, welcome back to Love and Hope Can, the podcast section of this. I wanted to just, I come on and I talk about different things that's really on my heart and my mind and try to, prompt some type of discussion or just to put something on your mind. Today's topic is what's really going on in the world. We got so much going on. You have a war going on. You have these mass shootings back to back going on that actually happened on what was it yesterday in Milwaukee and in Buffalo, New York. You have um, what's going on with our young folks and either attempting suicide or committing suicide, the mental health issue that's going on, just not just with the youth now. Don't get me wrong, it's happening and it's happening in all age groups. But for the most part, this segment that I heard, I believe it was on CNN earlier this week, really, really, got my wheels spinning with regards to the young folks. And I'm thinking about this young shooter, this Buffalo shooter, young 18-year-old, has so much hate in his heart for Black people and for Jewish people. And but he made a plan that others knew about, apparently knew about. I'm going to say that, but some type of manifesto that he copied from another mass shooter, um, and just the way that he was dealt with on yesterday when this happened, with kid gloves, But on the other hand, you have people laying in their bed, um, kicking in the door with guns, and a person fires back. All of a sudden, you no longer can protect your home or anything. And in some cases, you don't have a weapon, whether you're in a car, different places, Black people are unarmed but being instantly put down like dogs in the street or dogs wherever they stand, and they won't even do a dog like that. And so I think that is what is really bothering me. So, two things you have, unfortunately, a lot of the young people throughout this world, but really throughout the United States. And I say the world too, I just don't really listen to the world news that will go in different parts of the world to talk about this. But in terms of just the attempting suicide and committing suicide because of mental health issues, because of drug issues, because of homelessness. And I posed the question, what's really going on in the world? Here are young people are opting out. A lot of them are opting out to take their life because they feel like most likely they can't um, deal. And, I say, where are the adults? Where are the adult figures and someone that can help them and kind of pull them back from the edge? You know, I've dealt with a lot of youth over these years, and I can say that a lot of lives, according to their words out their mouth, Miss Katrina, thank you, or just thank you for listening, thank you for picking up the phone, thank you for meeting me, um, just meeting me where you didn't have to get up out your bed and come and be here. But I thank you for that, and that means a lot, simply because I know when a person is most likely in distress, and if I can lessen that stress with being there with a listening ear or in a closed mouth. A listening ear is important now. A listening ear and a closed mouth. So you can listen two times better than you are speaking. So just watching on yesterday and then hearing news last night, or was it this morning, about something that happened in Milwaukee where another mass shooting happened. Now, I don't know if it was different groups of people or whatever, but there were other shootings. And I'm just like, is that the only option we have? I mean, other option people have is to quickly pick up their gun. You're sitting around in your home and like this one guy, whatever his name was, Peyton or whatever his name was, that went and killed the people at the Tops grocery store, planned it out. I mean, is it that bad? Are you around that much hate and you're that evil of a person that you have to pick up a gun and drive a couple of hours away, put it on live stream like it's some type of video game? And I bet you if they go in their house, they find all that killing those video games and carrying on. Um, but you went and you shot defenseless people. See, and that's the evil of it all. There's never a fair fight. There's never, I'm going to put the gun down or whatever, and you mad at somebody and fight. Whatever that anger and whatever that hatred or that evil, where does it come from? It comes from the household. People hear you talking about and you're what you're talking about, or if you're standoffish and you're in your room, you're constantly, being by yourself or with some strange people, or all of a sudden you got an interest in this. I'm sure his parents knew. He been planning for a long time. He been planning. But is it that much hatred in the world that you really have to pick up a gun and carve the N word on the gun? What's your point? You kill. You're such a coward. In my opinion, you are a coward because you shot defenseless people. You've probably gone to the gun range, probably put the faces of dark people up there, or Jews or whoever else you hate. And maybe that was target practice. But now you got somebody pubbed you up and you had some cheerleaders on your side. Because see, you just didn't do it by yourself. You're having conversations, and the light conversations that you had, that he had, excuse me, I'm like I'm talking to him, but the conversations that he had with most likely somebody older than him that's hating the world, that wouldn't do it on their own, but pubbed him up to do it because he got some mental issues going on with him. I don't care what kind of issues he had, but he picked up a rifle or whatever he did, loaded it all up and put it on his gear and all of this protective gear. You knew what you was doing. But the crime shame comes in, the crying shame comes in when they took you alive. You should die like everybody else you just killed. That's my opinion. Why you get to live? To deal with it? I doubt if you have much remorse, because as soon as you get put into the same type of people that helped you probably orchestrate this stuff, they going to send you commentary. You got a life. You get to breathe inside the so-called prison that's treating you with kid gloves. The officers that arrested you, that probably have similarities, or people in charge that have similarities and wish that they could do it themselves. So you're going to get treated somewhat like a king, I'm sure. Just like Dylan Roof went in that church and killed 9 people, innocent people. You can have that much hate inside of you to take somebody else's life, like you this martyr. That's nothing. But I go back to the homelessness and these people opting out to kill themselves. Where's the help? Where are the programs and people they need? Now, mind you, I understand some people just not gonna make it. But if there is something that you can turn around in your thinking and say, let me give myself another chance of this, another two chances, or let me go over here and talk to so and so or such and such, maybe that'll help me. Maybe that'll pull me back off the ledge. I'm interested. Is the Buffalo shooter, and I'm going to find his name, Peyton, was he on the ledge? Because if he really wanted to see how scary he was, if he really wanted to kill himself when he put his gun up to so-called his chin or neck, they said, and if he was this martyr, this hero, he wanted to do all of this, why didn't he shoot himself? Why was he allowed to take his guns off and do all this, fully strapped, definitely a threat, definitely a murderer, a killer, but was able to lay down, stretch out, and be arrested? This is interesting. Because was he once on the ledge, but came back and said, I'm going to put as much hurt in the world as I possibly can because I was hurt or I was denied in some form of way. I hate these people because of da 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 da. And the da 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 da, you can add whatever it is. Was he mental? Was he mental, or was he just pure evil? I think it's pure evil. 18 years old. But then you have people that really have some situations to where they're in households that have, never had a chance to really win. I don't know what his lifestyle is, but to pick up a gun. But you have people opting out to attempt suicide. I saw that on CNN earlier this week, where a couple of professional psychiatrists and I think I want to say a mental health worker, paraprofessional, somebody came on and they were talking about just the different hospitals that have to pretty much close their doors to a lot of these kids who are homeless and committing suicide or attempted committing suicide, excuse me, because it's overwhelmed. The hospital is overwhelmed with all of this. They don't have enough beds. They don't have enough space to bring in these kids. But see, this is some type of movement that's happening, and people are not aware of it. And it's like, what can we do to help these kids? What is it about life that is so bad? Where's the coping skills? Where are the people that can help them? Where are the mature people that can help people in distress? Where's the trust that young folks need? Or they dealing with these people who are in these positions of being so-called grown-ups with kids' mind and tricking the kids' mind to believe it's better over here. That's an abuser to me. I feel so sad about these young folks that's choosing these drugs, these hard drugs, going out here and feeling like it's much better on the outside. And let me say this. I'm not discounting anybody's story because maybe it is better on the outside, especially if you're being abused and alcoholism or sexual abuse or mental abuse or physical abuse. Anything is better than being in that surrounding every day and have to deal with it every single day, even if you have a break in between, but to deal with it at all. That has to be horrifying. So I'm not discounting anything. But what I'm counting on is some people to wake up and say, you know what? This is happening. These young folks, it's interesting. And I can go back to when I was working with the school, and just the hungry children coming to school to get that lunch, to get that breakfast, and then having to come home to nothing because your parent is on drugs, on alcohol, and have chosen that more than they have chosen to care for the individual child or children. I never forget having to start Kids Cafe. because there was a need, and God would not let me rest until that need was fulfilled. When I started that kids cafe with I think it was the Cincinnati Cooks program. Yes. And I'll never forget, I had some volunteers that saw the vision, heard the mission, saw the vision, and said, Katrina, whatever we can do to help you, let us know. And I had volunteers out the woodwork coming down. I don't care what color they were. They came down and they gave the best assistance to making this program work. They would come down 3 days a week from all the way from out from I'm gonna say from the suburbs, and they were on time. What else can I do while they were there? I have to go pick up my child. I'll come back. You need some you need something tomorrow? Can I come do? I'll pick up the bread. All types of people will come and help, and they saw the need, they heard the need. They invited me to their church to speak on it. And absolutely, I spoke on it because there was a need for these young children in this low, impoverished neighborhood that didn't eat. They wasn't eating nutritional foods. And with the Cincinnati Cooks, and I'll always be grateful to that executive director of that program, and for all the supervisors and people that were a part of that, and even the people that were going to get their culinary degree. I thank God for them because they don't know how much they save these children. And I was feeding anywhere between, well, a week I had it was almost 300 and some different kids coming in throughout the doors, right? And so they had to be a part of the after school program, okay? And then whatever leftovers was there, of course, they were given to some of the older kids, maybe 18, 19, that came in and played basketball that maybe was hungry, or even someone that was homeless or someone that was out on drugs. I didn't throw anything away. We didn't throw anything away. And so I say to myself, if I could help someone, and if they were hungry, I would help that someone or some bodies or anybody that need a helping hand from me. I don't care when people say, why you give them that money? Or I had a person in my car and I stopped and had given a homeless person. All I had was some big bills, and I just gave it to him. I felt like God was speaking to me and said, do it, do it. Don't you dare go past this red light without doing it. And I did it, you know. And you know what? I was better for it. And I felt like, okay, well, I didn't give my money to the church, because mostly I tied my money through where I worked in terms of the young kids that didn't have or needed something. And, I would go to Kroger off hours, and my husband and I would go to the grocery store and just little something. And that Saturday morning, I would get there and I started a couple of groups. One group called Sister to Sister Mentoring Book Club. I started that for the specific reason of feeding children and having them to come in, and we have some good discussions around a book. I had one of my best friends had wrote a book, how I retired at 26, and she donated like 70 something books to me. I was so grateful to her. Will always be indebted to her for that. And also then the girls, and then all of a sudden somebody said, well, what about the boys? What about us, Miss Katrina? I said, yeah, what about you guys? What's up? Well, Miss Katrina, we want a brother to brother. I said, you want a brother to brother? We'll do a brother to brother. Okay. And so I had to get some brothers to come in and help nurture, help mentor, and do that. But I said there's a problem amongst our young folks to where they don't have anybody to turn to, they feel like. And so if it's a group of them together, everybody is depressed, everybody is dealing with mental issues, and everybody is in this one space trying to get warm, stay warm, and all of a sudden there's drinking, there's the drugging, there's all that. And all of a sudden the cycle continues. And all of a sudden you don't have money, or you're not out here robbing. And all of a sudden you're really, really down. You can't go no further. And here comes suicide. Well, you might as well take yourself out because, nobody love you, all that negative self-talk. where there's a lot of people that love you, but you're not going the right direction. And a lot of times we know who they are. That's why I make it a point to be when my mentees call me, I make it a point to be there. I don't care if we got into an argument or a person disagreed with me, a person's disagreed with me. I don't care. I'm gonna be there. I still love you. Ain't nothing personal, you know? And we're better for it because we're building not only a stronger bond, but a more better understanding. That we don't necessarily have to agree with each other, what each other have to say, but guess what? We still can respect each other's space, our opinions, our communication, all of those things. I'm coming to you right now because I see a trend. I see a trend in this suicide where you have people on TV talking about this has been going on for 10 years at least, but it's not a national topic. But here it is, another mass shooting, you know, coming from a household. I think he had two parents. What the hell are parents doing in the house? You know, that your son can sit up here and have all these guns or whatever else, and there's no question. And this is why I did a podcast a couple of videos ago talking about, do you know what your child is doing? Where's the self check? So what? He 18 years old. If he's under your roof, let me check this. What's going on? Who was his friends? Patton, or whatever his name is. I'll figure it out. I'll find it. You know, I hate to even really say his name. You know, he ate a meal today. He had something to drink today. And those 10 people that he killed did not. And the other 3 that's hanging on or dealing with their wounds or whatever, God be with them. Be with all the families. Something's not right. It's off. And people are planning your death better than you planning your death with a life insurance. These people out here are evil and hateful and feeling like something is being taken from them. Where a lot of them are not out working or trying to do anything better for themselves, but complaining about what's not working. Imagine if you work alongside of someone that's different from you, and you both together put your brain power together and can come up with something, and maybe even create a business that will inspire other people who are on the hate train or the suicide train. And it's so many souls that's being lost as we speak right now because of someone with their evil intentions coming in and speaking evil, but under the guise of, I love you, I care, I understand. Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, all this fakeness. But I must say, because I'm a Black woman, to my Black people, we have to stop. And I put we in there. I usually don't put we in there. But for y'all young folks that's out here and these people out here just killing each other, while other people are plotting against you as well, you see what's going on. What are you going to do about it? How can you save a life tomorrow? It's more people that's dying in these cities, like 200 and something murders. These weekends, it's getting ready to be hot. They're banking on the fact that you are going to get angry. You're mad. You're poor. The prices are going up. They want all that. They know what people have thought about this stuff for years to help you make an easy decision to get a gun and hate your brother or your sister or your baby daddy or your baby mama or this person over here. If you're dealing with anger management stuff, if you're down on your luck and something hasn't worked for you, reach out for help. Help. Don't let your pride get in the way that you cannot reach out for help And even for you guys that's out here that call yourself on the social media and got money, you don't need nobody and you don't need advice and all this because you got it going on, you made it yourself and all this. No person has made it themselves. And on this social media, y'all getting these ads and all this other type of stuff that's paying you the money and okaying you a lot of this foolishness, this ratchetness, this stupidity, got you entertained with bull crap. Your mind is not even in the world today with what's really going on with reality. Your brother man, your sister woman, sister girl, I'm sorry, sister woman. What's going on with these kids? They breaking up all these sex trafficking rings and all this other type of stuff. Where's your child? Where's your young girl? Why is your young daughter walking by herself with her head down in her cell phone? Huh? Are you teaching them anything? Are you teaching your children not to go to places by themselves in a car? And when there's a vans and strange people that's around looking and lurking, it's going to be more than one or two people that's going to push your child in a car or a truck or something so they can take that child away from you. Are you teaching your children the different defense mechanisms that they need? Are you teaching them something to make them work? I mean, if you're going to try to grab me, you got to fight me. Do your daughters and your sons have mace? Do they have something on their key ring? Do they have a loud alarm? Do they have anything? First of all, you need to stop allowing your kids to be out here in these streets by themselves, going to school. You have to make an arrangement with your job. My kid gets on the bus at 7:15 a.m. and I need to be there. I will be in work right after that as soon as I can. But I got to make sure I need eyes on my child. Have you arranged with the neighbor? Can my child be here and check out the neighbor? Don't just give your child to the neighbor because you late for work or whatever. Find out what's going on. You have to do things differently. People aren't kind anymore. People really can care less. People are becoming real cold and standoffish. And that's the reason why we celebrate when we see the kindness of a human being, even towards another human being. But I think more people find it's more likes and views on on videos that see humans being kind to animals more than it is for human to human. That's strange. I don't want to lose hope in humanity. And knowing me, I never will. But I'm looking at where are the instructors? You have people in these departments in these agencies that's predators. You know, who can you trust? Mama, daddy? Who can your child trust? They should be able to trust you. You should have their back 2,000%, if not a million percent. I don't even know if that exists, but whatever, you understand. The kids are turning to alcohol, depression, suicide, drugs, sex. They need help. They need somebody to be in their corner. And in some cases, all four corners. They need to be told, I got you, without any evil intent behind it. It's a lot of people suffering, y'all. It's a lot of people suffering. These young folks, We have a lot of suffering in this world. I don't think a Peyton or whatever his name was, the murderer, what did he suffer from? What did he suffer from? Frankly, I don't care, but I know that the people for the 13 families are suffering, making plans to bury. I pray for those who were weak and those that were being shopped for. I heard one lady said that her daughter was in there shopping for her grandmother or her mother, and because she was sickly, and just to know that that person and that young lady got out, thank God, but just to know that her granddaughter, her daughter went through that. God have mercy. Pay attention. There's so much going on in this world. And it's really happening, you guys. It's really happening. Stuff is really happening. Wake up. Pay attention. Pay attention to the sex trafficking. And I say that's real big. Pay attention to where your daughters and your sons are going. Don't allow them to spend a night over at nobody's house. Just don't do it. No, I can't. No, I cannot. No, I cannot. Because they're using the girlfriends or whoever they're saying their best friend, they're hiring the best friend to entrap your daughter or your son into this game. You got a lot of women doing this now. A lot of women, ain't just the men. Don't look for these shady men. Look for them too. But it's a lot of young girls that's trapping other young girls into this game. Okay? So I always try to stop at 30 minutes. I see that I'm about 2 minutes over. Um, I just wanted to come on and ask the question and pose the question. What's really going on in this world? And what are some of the things that we either talk about or can aid to the problem solving to it? I try to come up with some ideas or some suggestions, but I'm just one mind. And maybe not too many people are in tune to my mind. But I would love to hear you in the comments, read some comments on some solutions. Because right now we're in a sad state in a sad state. And I keep going to people being hungry because look at the prices of food, look at gas. And you think that people had issues 6 months ago, what you think it is right now? Oh my God. Even think about it. I didn't even go grocery shopping. Just thinking about, is it another plot? Is it something else going on? Are they working in groups, These folks, a lot of these folks are just absolutely insane, evil with evil intentions, and don't have any, um, don't have any chance to even try to change. Just be careful. I can't imagine hating somebody so bad that I would have to take a gun. I mean, I hate a pedophile. That I hate a pedophile. I don't like a pedophile. But do you understand what I'm saying? Just to hate somebody because of the color of their skin. And you know that skin is the truth. And anybody else feeding you this as a teenager or anybody feeding adults feeding you this, that's because they're uneducated. I just feel like it's you've been duped into lies. Well, I'm gonna let this go because I can go on, but I'll save it for maybe tomorrow. Listen, if you having a great day, continue to have a great day. If you're having a bad day, step outside of your house, get into what God has provided for you, the natural elements. Just step out, breathe in, breathe deep, and just think. God. Just thank God for what you have. And just try to make somebody else's world a little bit better. Because if we constantly think about the negative stuff, there's no room for the positive stuff to grow. Because I think when you speak positivity over anything and you give that energy, it definitely grows. With that said, I thank you so very much for listening. Again, if you enjoy, please uh, hit the thumbs up and subscribe to all. And please, as always, I would love to read some questions or comments if you have any. And as always, be good, be blessed, peace and blessings. Have a good one.